Okay, a lot of discussion on cats and pets in general, and their standing in the world and their standing with us. This is sort of a response to comments made by Art Fantasies to some of my comments I made in one of my videos. And the gist of his comment was kind of a protest against my comment where I suggested that cats or pets in general are the last incarnation before becoming human, or some of the last incarnations before becoming human are within pets, and he didn't like that whole and I can see a lot of people objecting to that chain of he protested you think man's superior, well, I guess the honest point is I do. For a soul to develop, you're not going to put a well-developed soul inside of a mosquito. It's going to live for a few days and get swatted. So I think the self develops just kind of a mixed match of God, I almost want to say ego, but it's not. Ego is something you develop in the mind normally, but there's another sense to it too, a deeper thread to it. Sort of a spiritual self-confidence too, or lack thereof. Well, there's a little doe right in the street, just standing there and looking at me. Run away! Silly thing. Cute. Entities, evolved from mineral life to more of a life form in a plant, and then maybe possibly to insects, possibly then to animals, and possibly then to pets that get to be with the next stage, which is humans. And the whole rationale of that is, as a pet, you're sort of in a great position to learn the ways of humans without really being one yet. You learn human treatment, human love, human neglect, the whole sphere of human stuff in a small sampling by being a pet. And it's kind of a kinder life than being a child. A parent has to discipline their child more than they have to discipline a pet. And so that was the main part of that. The other thing I wanted to say about pets is the great love we have for them. And a lot of that great love is simply because there's less of a contest of egos, in my opinion. And I know this isn't totally true. There's, the woman with the big security dog she is afraid of, or even people afraid of their cats. If you've seen the TV series My Cat from Hell, he does a real good job with cats. But there's definitely some cats you would be afraid of if you had them in your house, because they're just wildly acting out. So those exceptions be aside, and there's always a little bit of a contest of egos even with any pet. But compared to another human in your house, sharing your house with a roommate, or your dorm room with a roommate in college, or even with a lover, sharing your life with a lover, there's always going to be this contest of wills, contest of egos. Everybody wants things their way. Everybody thinks they're right, or they wouldn't think that way. And the other more simple thing I'd say on pets is we certainly tolerate a lot more from pets than we would from a human. And again, it goes down to the contest of egos. We, if the old pet, the dog craps in the rug, we're going to clean it up right away and eventually forgive them for it. But if you had a friend over and he or she squatted down and crept on your rug, you'd be pretty upset. You'd demand that they cleaned it up themselves, and you still wouldn't be very happy with them. And you'd probably never forget it. Just as a silly example. So basically that's it. There's a difference in the contest of egos. So that's why we're able to really open up to our pets and give them love that we rarely, if ever, feel free enough to give to another human. there's some kind of progression as the soul gets more depth to it, more cohesiveness to itself, more self-drive. It's rewarded with a bigger and better vehicle. Humans got more brain power than any of the other ground animals. I don't know about cetaceans. What they do with their big brains all day down there. That's a whole other realm, really.